the long high walls, but this street was not named after slave trade market. The humans that imposed their devilish oppression on us no longer live around us. We left them back on Earth. No, there's no white flight here, only black transcendence. No, now you see tall statues of black Orishas. I look around, I see Yamaya, I see Oya, I see Pac, I see Biggie. I look around, I see Malcolm and you, I see Asada and Harriet. I see Corey and Amina, George and Rashid. I see Adam, Chaz, Gio, Brooke and Quorum, and we live in our own harmonious world, free from the constraints of humanity of the world. Our gratuitous demands have been fully met. We all bop our head because we know white people feel some type of way. I hear Gil Scott here and I hear Lauryn Hill and their beautiful voices serenading us. I have my psychic catharsis, fucking transient zone. I live in the transient planet of freedom, like the great Nas said, the great Travis Shabazz, free at last. Now on the criticism, first there's no link. They say that our use of your mind is inherently species, but this 118 is not like a traditional Yoruban interpretation of this Orisha, as it's starting point. Rather, we offer a queer interpretation of your mind as a way to understand the fluidity of the ocean and black queer women. That is to say, the 118 disidentifies with the traditional interpretation because our view of your Maya is from a post-middle passage point of view. We can never fully recognize or understand how Yorubans or other Africans or Santeria worship her or use her image. We can begin to build our own spiritual connection of the ocean. The fact that they got their source from Wikipedia shows how they have just totalized the ideas as though all people worship her in the same way now. No link, they say that we use fish as a metaphor in that species, but Joe should learn to do more research than Wikipedia, where he gets this idea that humans are being analogized to the fish. This is a misunderstanding of the nature of this Orisha's mothering. The Orisha is literally the mother of fishes. Her children are of the sea. Her body is the ocean, not like fishes, not like fishes of the sea, but actually of the fucking sea. And link turn the identity of Yamaya. The 1NC labels Yamaya is definitively a human woman, which ignores the gender and species fluidity of this Orisha. She's neither woman nor male. She's neither fully human or non-human. She functions at the intersection of the shoreline, as Alexis Pauline comes to say, it's both, but never fully characterized by either. This is probably a reason why the 1AC not only already combats speciesism, but also is a reason why the alternatives had an already placed into the hand speciesism. Now, no link, they say that self-determination is inherently a species, but Joe assumes that when we say self-determination, we mean it in a European way in terms of rational thought, and all of that. The point of making our new home is to destroy those concepts, destroy the very notion of humanity that has been used against us now. Link turn, you're thinking. The fact that the 1AC automatically ties ideas of self-determination to European standards and concepts is probably the reason why the alternative is stuck in a Western epicene that cannot recognize the point of view of the slave, which embraces alternative knowledge bases and cannot fit under the codes of anthropological man. Now, no link can turn racial sexual politics. This is the crux of the debate. The 1AC makes strict divisions between humans and non-humans because of biological differences. Like Miguel says across it is the idea of whoever is classified as a Homo sapien, which ignores that anthropocentrism is really Blancocentrism. It is a system that is made uniform by an expanding European empire that then marks blackness as anti-human. That thus our move to homemaking allows us as non-human sentient beings to break down the power structure of that anthropocentrism is part of. There are two arguments that I want to make clear here. First, that we are the fucking animal. The only human in this debate is the white man whose people are directly responsible for creating this home for white people. We are a direct destruction of that home through black queer homemaking. Secondly, is that the alternative would leave black people, including black queer women, black trans folk, black third gender folk, black gay men, black lesbian women, and black bisexual folk, etc., open to the technology of violence in society because they see blackness as part of the modern human category. The fact that he does not know what trans misogyny even means in cross-examination is probably the reason why they cannot fully understand the way the 1AC sees homemaking is produced. Trans misogyny are specific to the laws that black trans women specifically face within society. Now, permanently, by engaging in black queer forms of homemaking, someone's the Orisha Yamaya in a way that blurs gender and species lines, making them incoherent. This solves the entirety of the critique because their method of queering is not mutually exclusive with the 1AC, and it's probably less of a revolutionary strategy than the 1AC consider. It is about queering in general, but not about the specific practice of homemaking for black queer women, which is more specific and allows us to find how different forms of oppression work together. Second of all, do you even go here? Chess is neither white and is not, and Miguel has not performed queerness. The only other person who's performed that in this debate is my partner Stephanie Mitchell, and this 2AC starts a continuation of that conversation that she sparked. The affirmative team is an example of the kind of intersectional approaches we allow. Colonial politics between an Afro-Puerto Rican and Greek hetero male working alongside a black queer woman allows for us to bring both our experiences and analysis of oppression together by summoning the image of Yamaya. We are both are connected to the Middle Passage as part of the vast diaspora of blackness and her disidentification summoning the image of Yamaya as a gender and species fluid Orisha. I remember back in the days going on YouTube and seeing two intelligent captivating black women speaking. One of them in particular was giving a speech, Elizabeth Jones, that said, "Put your hands behind your back and lay down on the ground. I'm just doing my job." To continue to speak, and her main point was that this debate space is wide as hell. We need to make this shit accessible to black people. We need a space to speak. I didn't understand it back then until I went to NYCDI for the first year of debate camp. And I talked to Daryl Birch. He explained to me that the history of black debate, and I began to see how the man who stood in front of me, along with Elizabeth Tiny and Ed Warner, and the whole Louisville crew, including Stephanie, made it possible for me to even stand here and talk to you. Devin Cooper, Davon Love, Toya, Rashad Evans, Amber Kelsey, Corey Amina, Jameer Miguel, Dr. Brickley, Ryan Elijah, Chris Randall. They showed me love. They showed me life. They're arguing to an hour that this theoretical objection to the 1AC is a prerequisite to practice. But answer me this question: how is the alternative provide a space for black queer women to survive? How do I take this back to the streets? What does their shit even look like? Do we just stop eating meat and abusing animals? How does that account for anti-black suffering, for trans, misogynoir, and those independent forms of violence? They can't answer this question without returning to some random theoretical objections about speciesism. This shit is just the anthro version of realism with no real alternative to resolve the issues that we have to face. You've been reading this for years. All their anthro authors have been dropping stacks of books and articles and giving a myriad of lectures. When can we finally start building shit instead of sitting on an academic chair and talking about how bad shit is? Literally, the K is the equivalent of a white anthro activist intervening when people of color, specifically black queer women, talk about their oppression, telling them that they need to focus on other forms of oppression. But that is never an answer to when we talk about this shit. And also, it's far more suitable for our survival to politics to start from the point that's from the point of black women, because it's far more productive in resisting all the intersecting oppressions and allows for the use of the erotics. It's Allen in 2011. Each act of erotic self-making, that is excess and individuation towards developing who we are and the stringent world despite who we are or who we are told we are, or autotheism that political challenges the status quo, transforming hegemonies of gender, sexuality, or blackness. The erotic can be a way of posing a relationship between a number of individual and political actions because of contextual micropolitics with macro-political implications. Through the use of erotic sensitivity, we may create counterpoling with new forms of art, effective and erotic relations and rules of public and private engagement, not only a form of our engagement as Lord suggests, but in fact condition new choices and new politics. This is an alternative way of knowing, more authentic than ways of knowing that are imposed by others. And also, there's a very real opacity to the alternative. White people should not know shit, should not be part of these sort of queering. So this is the Joe Schatz this adds to the queering of the 1NC. Now, net benefits, strategic resistance. Only the perm solves, only the app allows for us to understand the diverse ways in which things like speciesism and racism work in conjunction. That's Taurus in 2007. It's not even to imagine that we'll ever have a single movement for the social justice without the way we approach this base. All struggles development of social consciousness that understands this would have been person in a relation. We must focus on the system of domination itself and the very kinds of oppression that the system produces, even though these oppressions are not necessarily equally felt in each group. It is important to keep a relationship of social oppression in mind, to focus on common roots of oppression. By doing this, the groups with what appear to be fairly different approaches and emphasis can begin to connect, reach out, and support one another. Working across differences and integrated work can also help solve one of the problems, particularly classism, sexism, racism, and speciesism plays our movements with some of the major thoughtful activists within the animal rights movement could begin to actually turn back the decades of damage the movement itself has done to its own reputation and other causes. And another net benefit is post-humanity. Slavery is analogous to alien abduction. Thus, blacks have been living in an alien nation for centuries. Thus, the black body does not represent the ideal of humanity. Afrofuturist discourse demonstrates the move by black bodies from the subhuman to the post-human. Don't get it twisted. We aren't just some pure escapism. Afrofuturism means starting to build institutions that destroy the material realities of the world because it calls into question the human presence that makes it possible. That is Nelson 2K2 saying the negative non-cultural placement of black subjects in Western modernity to point of departure from student construction argument that applies to specifically black isolation of the post-human in which new world black subjects have been privileged access to because we are denied the status of human for so long. Afrofuturism represents the most extensive methods of this movement, retracing different forms of alienness and post-humanity through jazz, folk, hip-hop, techno, and jungle, as well as providing a dazzling account of the technicity of black music. The sign of human, the shifting of human harbors a negative significance of any Afrofuturist musical configuration. Mark it there. Process.
What is a black trans woman?
Black, I mean,
So, that's what you said misogynoir is directed at, right? Black trans women.
somebody who is black and trans.
Not black trans women? It wasn't.
Well, they can identify as women.
Misogyn, like what?
They can identify as women. Some
Okay, but in your speech,
some trans people don't do
I have
that.
a question. In your speech, did you not say that misogynoir is directed at black trans women? Did I?
Sure.
You said that?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. So, what is a black trans woman? That's what I'm asking.
A person who is black, transsexual or transgender, either one, and also identifies as a woman.
And also,
or anywhere under the asterisk of trans.
alright, gotcha. Okay. So you say you're Afro-Puerto Rican, right?
I have African roots, yes.
You said Afro-Puerto Rican.
Yes.
I don't see an Afro.
I'm light skinned.
I don't see an Afro. I'm gonna take your word on it, though. I'm gonna take your word.
Alright, that's cool.
Alright, my question is.
Yo, what about you? What are you
Oh my
talking
God,
about?
I'm joking. Relax.
All
You
right.
get so sensitive.
Just letting you know.
My hair's a little curlier than yours, but okay. Have you ever been to the doctor's office?
I was just there, actually.
Oh, you were just there. That's right. Word. So when you went to the doctor's office, did they what did he say? Like you was a non-human being? Did he treat you and diagnose you as a non-human being? Like how did he diagnose you?
See, that's the argument we're making there, right? That you make this biological division of the human. What about a woman who can't reproduce? Is she not human now? She can't fit the biological reproduction modes. What about somebody whose gender assigned to them is not the gender they identify
Okay,
with?
but regardless, she's still.
Just because a doctor classifies you as that, does that mean
as human,
is that? Oh, really?
I'm asking.
So when the doctors identify Sarah Bartman,
I asked you a question. Did he?
but your question makes no sense. Doctors identify Sarah Bartman in a certain way. Does that mean it's true?
They never identified her as a human being.
That's the point.
That's exactly.
Yes, but we're talking about right
That's
now.
the
We're
point,
talking
is
about right
that,
now.
that I am not a human. That black women are not humans. That's the point.
Alright. I have a
Thank
question.
you.
Are there any consistencies with Yamaya in enslaved cultures? You say, Yamaya has been like dispersed throughout cultures and everything. Is there any consistencies of her depiction within these cultures?
There are
The name
consistencies
kind of,
that she is like the Orisha, and like she's an Orisha, that she's
ocean.
in the oceans, that she is the ocean, that she is mother. They're like those
And
are,
mother and this mother takes the form of somebody who's depicted like just in illustrations throughout all the cultures,
Actually, she's
depicted as a
depicted
female.
in many different ways. Sometimes she's
Sure, I know, but I'm
depicted
saying,
as,
okay.
a lot of times she's depicted as like mermaid, as like.
But mermaid is also still probably half human. Right?
A mermaid
That goes back to what is a
disrupts
human.
species. Like it's like they can't be categorized as one species or